Hey folks, my name is Micah and I'm a JavaScript developer. So you've probably seen a 404 page like this countless times. It usually marks the abrupt dead end to a journey when a link you are requesting is missing. This can happen for many reasons. It may be that the content has been removed or the link has changed, or maybe the link you've selected is incorrect in some way, such as spelling for example. Whatever the case may be, it usually means that you've hit a brick wall and usually results in users disengaging. When the only option is to return to the home page or some generic page and start all over again, many users will understandably leave the website. So a question I've been asking myself recently is, what if a 404 page wasn't just a static page? What if it was more like an assistant? What if we could take thousands of examples of 404 routes and build a model and then pass that model a broken URL and let it try and make sense of it? And what if the model could then programmatically select and place components onto the 404 page? I want to show you a model I've been working on that does just that. So let's say we had an amazing company. Let's call it First Utility, which is definitely amazing, by the way, and you should definitely come and work for us. But what if this amazing company sold a product? Let's call that energy. And as part of that product, there was a service which was called a quote. So we could get a quote for energy. And to get that quote, we needed to give it our postcode. So we can pass that in as well. So this is an example of a broken URL that would then be passed through to the 404 page as params or maybe post. So what we would expect is for the model to be able to take those three pieces of key information, so product, service, and this specific information here with postcode, and then run that through the model and then work out what it is that I want. So because this model programmatically selects components for the page, it recognized that there's a postcode and programmatically selected an input and pre-populated it with the postcode. It also created a button with appropriate text, so I can go through to wherever it is I need to get get my quote. And it's also created appropriate text based on the product and service that I'm after. So you may be asking, well, what if it's not energy I'm after? What if it was broadband? Well, if we pass in broadband, we would expect the model to be able to take this new piece of information, run it through the model, and be able to respond accordingly. So again, it's recognized the postcode, it's appropriately renamed the button, and it's appropriately replaced the text. So you may be asking, okay, well, maybe I don't pass it a postcode. Maybe all I give it is a product and a service that I'm after. So if we get rid of the postcode and just pass it a product and a service, because the components are programmatically selected, the input field is no longer required because the postcode doesn't exist, and the models recognize that and appropriately updated. So you may be asking, okay, well, it's not a quote that I'm after. Actually, what I'm after is I want to see my bill for my broadband. And so the model should be able to recognize words and recognize that they are part of a certain journey, and so it's going to redirect you to the login page and also update the text. So you may say, okay, well, it's not really a bill I was after. I was just after just some generic information about broadband. And so the model's able to take that as well. In this case, it's just got a product, no service, no postcode, and so it's just returned a link for generic information here. So you may be thinking, okay, Clever Clogs, how about we provide just a service but no product? So if I get rid of broadband and replace that with quote, the model then returns all available products that have that service. So here there's a button for energy and a button for broadband, which would get me a quote. And again, I could, if I wanted to, put in my postcode. And again, it would pre-fill that, and those buttons are ready to take me to wherever I needed to go to. So you may be thinking now, okay, Clever Clogs, well, if I don't provide you with a postcode, if I don't provide you with a product or a service, and all I provide you is with a postcode, what will you do then? So if all you did was provide it with a postcode, it would recognize that you're trying to get a quote for something, and it would provide you with links to all services that you can get a quote for and pre-populate your postcode. And so you may be thinking, well, what if I don't tell you it was a postcode? What if all I did was just put in the postcode without anything else? Will the model still know what to do? The answer is yes. Even just with a postcode, there's some logic that happens that passes the parameters and all that sort of stuff. So there's some clever logic that happens, and so it still recognizes that it's a postcode and will still try to pass you through to the appropriate service. And so this model engages the users more. It's only 4 kilobytes in size, can be loaded whenever needed, and I hope would stop people from disengaging from the website and leaving it completely. So this is just my way of teaching an old 404 new tricks. I hope you enjoyed the demo.